Well, all right, it's recording. I didn't get an announcement. I think because of the otter that was it's recording as well, which is fine. All right, guys. Hey, happy Friday! Fire Fridays with Dave. Today is the 22nd of March, so we're super excited to be plowing through into the spring market. I'm already hearing about things running around and going crazy out there, which is good. Fire Fridays. These are all about agent attraction, guys. We talk in our Fund Your Reason group about utilizing the EXP platform to build generational wealth, to create opportunity for others, how to serve other people, and how to fund your reason. And that's what it's all about. EXP has an incredible platform in so many different ways. We talk about it all the time because, really what it's about is how do we help other people hit their goals, achieve their goals, big dreams and build great lives using the platform that's here. And a lot of times we're talking about our, residential real estate platform. We talked recently about the global platform, right? We had our partner Aaron in France in here and talking about what that looks like, attracting in other countries. Another key opportunity and an amazing group that we can offer opportunities for are commercial agents. Incredible opportunity for commercial agents here at EXP, the best in the industry. And speaking of the best in the industry, we have the best president of commercial in the industry hanging out with us today, my friend Jim Huang. And Jim is not only, he has an amazing background. What he has done to the industry. I don't think that people at EXP know the gem that we have in Jim. He knows everybody. He's been involved in commercial for so long, at a very high level, super connected, very knowledgeable. He's one of those people where, we start surface level, and I've been in real estate for 25 years, so I can talk real estate pretty well. We start talking real estate, and then he like shifts it into a whole new gear, and I'm like, man, he just dusted me because he's got all this other stuff. And I'm like, cool, I'm so glad that you know that. So, but the biggest blessing has been, over the time that we've been able to work together, is what a phenomenal human being he is. Man, we're brothers. Absolutely love hanging out with him and chatting, and we were each other's sanity check so many times along the way. So we're blessed to have Jim at our company leading commercial because of the knowledge he brings of how to do that and how to serve people in the industry, and how to build something that has never been built before. But we're really blessed to have him here today to share with us. So Jim, thank you, man, for being here and taking the time. I know you're always, I don't even know, what country are you in? Like, where are you today? Are you back in Cali?
Not yet, until Michael says okay, but I'm in Los Angeles running around. It's the traveling time again that Dave.
Absolutely. Yeah. So cool. Well, thanks, man, for being here. I can't wait to hear what you've got to share with us. We can't wait to hear more about the opportunity for commercial. Like, what is commercial at EXP? Why are we different? Why should people be here? What do we have to offer? Why are people coming? All that good stuff. So lay it on us, man. I'm going to let you run.
Thank you, Dave. But first, I want to share and say thank you, Dave, for leading, growing it during the fastest growth phase of EXP Realty. I could not build unless it was built upon the foundation of what Glenn Sanford, what you built with all these other leaders, right? It is building on top of success. It's building a platform and constantly building and thriving. So that's the thing, that it was built on Realty. And I know Dave, great leader, still the leader, always doing things to improve. You don't need a title, you just lead. So love you, brother. And so I had to start with that because it starts with a lot of leaders, a lot of people giving. No one person does it alone. So as we grow commercial and any parts of our company, everyone grows as a team. Everyone grows with each piece. I say it's brick by brick, piece by piece is how we grow. So before kind of going back, before I came to EXP commercial or starting it, I was in commercial real estate. I'd say my first start was back maybe 25 years ago. I was in banking, finance, portfolio managers like Michael Valdez. I know he was at Deutsche Bank. I was at Dean Witter, then Morgan Stanley. When I decided to come out to the West Coast, I went into real estate portfolio management under the largest tick syndicator in the country. When I was analyzing, looking at the portfolio, I was like, wait a minute, Marcus and Millichap, I got to cut my teeth at M&M. They're the best. I want to be the best. So I went over there, learned the business, cold call. You got to get in by 8 a.m. You got to stay by the do not call time at 9 a.m., making sure you call. If you're not on meetings making the company money, you're in your desk making phone calls, dialing for dollars, door knocking, whatever it takes. From there, I always say I'm a war general. I got through the recession, right? Everyone's kind of going through difficult times right now, right? So I went through the 2007, 2009 recession, remade myself. I'm sure everyone's going through that now. Reinventing, learning, building, scaling, networking. You got to do all those things. You got to work for half. You got to work twice, 3 times, 10 times as much just to get enough. But this is what's going to happen. You're going to win through attrition. You're going to win by staying in the game. You got to stay in the game. So these are some of the things that I kept on building after recession. Also, I learned a little bit about franchises where I had a chance to join many different residential, commercial franchise firms and the big firms. I did decide to go with Rand Sperry to start a franchise firm. We created about 80 offices when we were building. From there, we were trying to put it. Dave knows when I met him by the pool, right after I went to EXPCon in 2019, I was studying the EXP model, trying to bring it to Sperry. I will say another tip, always have an open mind. Never rest on your laurels. Never think you're too good to just say, I've learned it all. I've seen it all. We're the best. We all know where that leads you. If you always think you're the best and you sit on your laurels and you just don't innovate and create and stay humble, grounded, and innovative, you're going to lose eventually, right? So it is always important to be open-minded. I was open-minded about EXP. Tom Trong told me to talk to Glenn, Jason, Jeff, Whiteside, RJ, a lot of names from the past. Went there and said, you know what, love your platform. You have a fantastic platform. You don't have commercial. Maybe we can merge Sperry and do something. Glenn liked the idea with Jeff Whiteside. They were going to buy the Sperry company, but instead they brought me over to start up a new company. And I did say this, no commercial company was ever successfully built on a residential until now. And let me share a little bit about the screen to go into it because I want to help everyone attract commercial agents. What does it take to go after commercial agents, especially in this market, which is a great market? Like what Dave had to do, EXP who, EXP what, right? To now EXP. It was in 2020 when we started EXP Commercial. EXP Commercial, what? Who are you guys? Oh, you're that realty company that's virtual? No, we're EXP Commercial. So it did take time. When I came over, we launched EXP Commercial November 1st of 2020, during COVID, right? Virtual world. But everyone has to know this when you attract commercial agents. We are a publicly traded company. Let me tell you that again. We are a publicly traded company. Many people say you have no offices. Well, you can have a nice Class A office, or you can be publicly traded. What gives you more security, right? So a lot of commercial brokers that come over, they like to know the company is sound, it's strong, it's stable. EXPI, we're publicly traded. You can always get an office and default on your office, but being a publicly traded company, you can watch the company, you can see what's going on. So remember, we're publicly traded. This resonates with commercial agents. The other thing is, under EXP Realty and EXP Commercial, we are 2 separate companies. With 90,000 agents and growing worldwide in 24 countries, we are 2 separate companies. EXP Commercial, about 800 commercial agents. We're growing services. We do business brokerage. Let me tell you this. Business brokerage is exclusive to EXP Commercial. So many of the realty folks are passing leads or referrals to business brokers. So if you talk to business brokers or M&A type of individuals who do middle market, $10 million to $100 million deals, those are M&A brokers. Business brokers are usually, I would say, 5 million and under, 1 million and under, small mom and pop shops that you see, unfranchised. But that is what one of the biggest sales and growth are business brokers because of the lead source from realty to commercial. Granted, there are a lot of lease deals, transaction deals given to EXP Commercial. So a lot of commercial agents like to say, are there any referrals or leads? Yes, we have 90,000 agents, 24 different countries to plug into. This is also the big things, not a franchise. We are corporate, not a franchise. A lot of the big commercial brokers like to know when you go to CBRE, Marcus, they're all publicly traded. They're all corporate, not franchise. I will say the next level down are commercial franchise firms. NAI, SVN, Lee and Associates. There's a lot of franchise firms, commercial franchise firms in that bucket, but not the next tier up, publicly traded, multinational, full service. So it's great when you tell people we're not one publicly traded, two separate companies, franchise, not franchise, but corporate, and you get to plug in and grow and build on our 90,000 agent network. But the biggest thing too, you can build your own brand. Most of the commercial agents, especially the successful ones, big ego. Pat, remember when we were talking to Seth and everything from his team? You remember ex-CBRE? He's still squeaking, but he does love the company. But these are the things. How do you talk to them? You need to let them know you can build your own brand. You can build your legacy. That is how I got some of these bigger firms to join us now. They're saying, I'm tired of giving my money away and not building me. I'm building them. It's time for me to build me. So they are coming over with their team or group name to build under our company. We're a platform to allow you to scale and build in all 50 states and 24 countries. So having the agents come over, you can build your own name. We have a community, like you see, workplace. There are many groups within eXp Commercial selling on market, off market ideas. The great thing with, as Dave knows, innovation in eXp, fantastic. We have a radio show now, right? This is amazing, right? Just constantly innovating. From Glenn and Leo, Michael, everyone else at leadership, they're always figuring out the next step. What is the next thing? What can help the company scale even bigger? And oh, wait, by the way, you can get stocks. You can get rev share. You can buy some of our publicly shared stock at a discount. This is the financial freedom. And a lot of things that I've seen in Realty does apply to commercial. A lot of times commercial says, we don't do that, right? You've heard that. We don't do that. No, we don't do that yet. We just don't do that yet. But a lot of times what I've learned watching the industry, looking at everyone else's model before I came here, was learn from Realty, be open-minded. There are things people are doing in Realty that are adapted to commercial. Social media, commercial says, we don't do that. Now we do it all day long. SEOs, I have some teams and groups in commercial concentrating and focusing, cornering the market by using SEO. LinkedIn, please, everyone here, sign up for LinkedIn. Follow eXp Commercial. This is the way you start building your commercial. Everyone really in commercial that has any worth of in salt is on LinkedIn. Be on LinkedIn. Try to be active on LinkedIn. Use our posts and repost it and do things so you can get more traction. Be on LinkedIn. This is the biggest also one. A lot of people are 50-50 firms, 70-30 sliding scale. Some of the larger producers, maybe 90-10, no cap, right? Or the residential firms, similar, but not exactly like eXp Commercial. We're 80-20, capping at 20,000. Capping at 20,000. That is another big one. Most commercial firms do not cap. So when they hear cap, they may go, okay, tell me more. You don't cap? Also, for $250, our tech fee is phenomenal. Granted, in commercial, we have so much tech, and it's just evolving, like what happened to Realty a long time ago. It kept on evolving, it kept on changing, it kept on adapting. Commercial, because we do transactions, we do leasing, and we do business brokerage. And in each one of those categories, there's probably a dozen other specialties. Multifamily, retail, office, industrial, land development, agricultural land, ground up construction, you got triple net, you got net lease, business brokerage, I mean, hospitality, RVs, home, still storage. It goes on and on and on. What you can specialize, and there's always what riches in niches. So there are a lot of things in commercial real estate that nobody could do at all. But we also at eXp, there's a bigger group we can plug into. But with the $250 tech fee, we keep building the core tech that people are using. We do monitor usage. So a lot of times, I hate to say it, when we do change it, we change it for the better, to use platforms, to use tools that people are using in the company, or we use that money to upgrade other tools that can make you more successful. So again, 80-20 capping at 20,000 and $250 for the tech fee back office, really unheard of. This is the other big one, 24 different countries and expanding. You need to let everyone know we are not just in your local market, we are in your global market, 24 different countries. So when you tell that to a commercial agent, oh, how would you like to be in 24 different countries? They're like, what? There's going to be something you're going to say to them that's going to resonate. But I would always say through LinkedIn, do a little due diligence, get to know them, understand, what their pain points are, understand how they grew their company, what they do, and then you could hit them and share exactly what they may need to scale and grow their company. We're also portability. I know in Realty, you don't really do portability, but in commercial real estate, many of us do business across state lines. I know when I was at Marcus, Arizona, Nevada, exchanging from Southern California all day long, Arizona, Nevada. I knew those markets just as well as I knew the California SoCal market, because we exchanged so much California high price market properties to Arizona, Nevada, or Texas. We did a bunch of deals in Texas. So you need to let them know we are licensed in all 50 states. Granted, you need to talk to the state broker and the broker of record of the state you're going to be doing business. A lot of times we'll have to reverse the deal, cancel the deal, or not pay you. So please, anytime a broker is interested, you always have to tell them to talk to the state brokers. But the big thing is we are licensed in all 50 states. Another big thing for commercial brokers. This is the other big thing as we build the tech stack. Everyone says, okay, what do you got? You got CoStar? Unfortunately, we don't. But I know Michael and Leo, they're working on it. Hopefully, knock on wood, they're going to get that. Moody's Analytics is a CoStar competitor. They have research reports from Reese. They have Catalyst that we're going to start showing all of the listings. In residential, doing commercial too, we're trying to show all of it as we're one big company. Global commercial listings too. We are working on that. Build out, business brokerage, CRM, and RealNext are all BOV platforms or ways you can do OMs, offering memorandums, to put your packages together for commercial agents and your clients, or to do analysis. Yardi Matrix, we got it at a big discount. This is more institutional deals where you can look at larger products. A lot of the bigger teams and commercial brokers want Yardi Matrix, but keep watching because we are getting discounts on many, many other commercial tools that we're getting feedback from our agents. What do they need to be successful in this market? So even if you're new to this commercial real estate business, it's okay. We have an entire 2-week training program for new brokers that are coming in, getting a mentor, and we're starting to, working with Brian Ellington and many others, is to add, okay, I did my business. All right, I passed my mentorship. Now what? We have other courses to teach you how to be better in commercial real estate, to really up your game. We always call it intermediate and advanced training. It is important because once you grow, you need to leverage your time. You need to get an assistant, a manager. How do you train more juniors? How do you build your team? How do you diversify product type? Many people who do transactional type of business will create a leasing company, or they may even create a new home sales because they become developers. Many commercial agents, and I'm included on that, you choose a path. You usually will become, after you do brokerage, a syndicator or a developer. You do one of those normally. You make enough money. We all buy commercial real estate buildings if you're smart to build passive income, but you will choose to be a syndicator, to put money together, to buy buildings, or you'll start developing. So many people, we like to teach them in more advanced training how to scale and grow their business, which is very important. The other thing is, this is very important, especially in this time of the market, the healthcare. Last cycle, I had to cut my own healthcare because I was paying $500,000 a month. Nut. This is what I get: 5 Class A offices, 2 satellite offices in Arizona, Nevada. Well, that gets expensive. In 2009, when the commercial real estate market crashed, very similar to now. I'm just saying, very similar to now. Many of these firms, 2023 was bad, 24 is not shaping up great. So talking to these commercial brokers saying, we have group healthcare. Check us out first. They will see individually or families that they can save a good amount of money. And I always told them it is almost the price of admission. It will allow you to say, okay, I'm saving $10,000, $20,000 on my group health and care for a family of 6. I've heard that. So it's always important. If they no, well, what about group health care? How much are you paying? Well, let me check. So you want to give them the link to our group health care so they can kind of look figure out what the costs are. This is the big one. Oh, by the way, we're publicly traded. You can buy some shares back, at a discount with your commissions, mailbox money. You're already paying 50-50, 70-30. Don't even think about it. Just buy 5%, put it away. Don't look at it. And one day, Dave knows, I don't even want to ask you how much you put away, but you put it away. It's 5%. This is, they don't even see it. It's a rounding error after 80-20. Many of the, I would say, rookies make under 100,000. 100,000 in commercial, we considered you a new agent. We consider you still a rookie until you start doing consistently plus or minus around 250 every year. Then you are a citizen after $500,000 and above. Okay, you're a player. And then we have people in our company that do multi-million-dollar GCI, as you see some of these large deals passing by. But these are the important things to know about commercial agents. Icon Awards, great. You do $500,000. You do some volunteer and cultural award. You do 20 deals. There's other nuances. But many people, I told them in Texas, many of our icons, I would say because of the referrals, because of the stock, I said, Jesus, guys, you guys are taking money from us. I should put you to work. We're paying you to be here, right? And it is true. We give a little too much away, but it's a great company to be on, but we know we can make money and scale on other businesses. This is the rev share. I say, don't sell, share. That's why on LinkedIn, you want to be on LinkedIn. You want to just look at what we post, share it, like it. I would say those that do that, every month, you'll probably get one lead. I didn't know EXP commercial. I didn't know EXP did commercial. I didn't know this, or I have a commercial lease deal or something. Just by putting on LinkedIn posting, you're going to get a lead or two, and you could convert. Not everyone is good leads, but hey, if you put it out there, just doing the small maintenance, you're going to get something from it. And you may get an agent. It works. That's why I keep pushing being on LinkedIn, sharing and posting, because there are people within your network that goes, I didn't know this. I didn't know you did commercial. I didn't know your company did commercial this way. Let me join. So that's a little bit about EXP commercial. I will open it to Q&A, but I will say follow us on LinkedIn. We're on Instagram, Facebook, but YouTube is where we have all the information. I will give to Dave and Krista the information with our back office, all this information, anytime you want to set up a meeting. A little tip too, don't try to close a big commercial broker or producer, or even a rookie. Do the three-way. Dave knows the power of the three-way.
Don't talk to me right now.
I say what I found in Texas.
You got to do the three-way.
I don't want to talk right now.
Oh,
But you,
yeah. You got to do the three-way, right? So don't try to close the deal on your own. That's why we're here. Don't feel you're,
Need
I
you
always
to
hear people
go.
saying wasting time. There is never wasting time. Just share it. Send me a LinkedIn. I will tell you the best course, how you can close that individual, or at least if we don't close, follow up, right? We all know, oh, geez, they joined somebody else because they got them when it was hot. It's like a listing. You track a listing, you follow a listing, you stay in touch with people. Otherwise, you're going to lose the listing. Somebody else is going to grab it because they hit them at the right time. So make sure if you're chasing commercial, follow up, drip on them, post on LinkedIn, share some cool news of that EXP commercial is doing. And eventually, I'll tell you this, they're all coming. They are. We have so much traction, not just by onesie twosies now, but by the large groups that we're actually, like Boost, Thrive, and the other incentives, we are working on larger and bigger programs for the bigger teams. I was just telling Dave just before we jumped on, 12 to 15 million GCI team looking to come over. There's another large team. They're doing about 15, but they're all between 10 to 20 million GCI groups. So very big volume. It is important that you talk to them differently, get the right person in our company to talk to them. It may not be me, it could be somebody that we have very big seniors, very large legends like Jerry Anderson coming over with us. There's other names that are over here that were all past presidents. We're looking even this quarter to get maybe 2 to 3 other legends, who've been around this business for 30 years, leading as president, all coming together, because in commercial, our world is so close, so tight, so small. Everyone knows everyone. And I know when I talk to Isaac, right, we all have the same friends at CCIM, and we all know each other. But see, this is the thing. We all know each other. And David, thank you, but it is serving, giving, and this is the next piece. And if you get a commercial broker, they're usually going to stay longer. They won't jump at the next thing. It's going to be harder for them to come over. But once they come over, they don't like to jump. They stay, especially the seniors. And the good thing is they produce. They're going to be your FLQA pretty much every year. So you can bank that money. So build a foundation of FLQAs, let's say 10 to 15, right, Dave? 10 to 15 is the money part where it's doable. And let us help you grow your commercial business.
Awesome. Awesome, man. All right. So you guys can see, all of the benefits that are here. I mean, honestly, it's, when you talk to a commercial agent, if you know what they are, I mean, it's pretty clear why this is a better platform, right? So there's so much that's here for them. There's a couple questions that are out there, Jim, pertaining to kind of the nuts and bolts of doing commercial at EXP, because as you and I have talked about a lot of times, right? You have we're a real commercial company. I mean, it's a real commercial real estate company, a real firm, that we have some big players on doing big business, but we know there's a really wide swath in the kind of the residential side. And there's a like a, which side do I fall on? What's the best way and stuff. So talk to us just real brief about the licensing structure, because it's two different brokerages and all of that. So when you're doing some commercial, when does it make sense? Because you can only, if you have the license, you have to have a license in both, right? You can't have one that has access to both because it's a different cap structure, different fee structure, different access to different tools and that kind of stuff. So talk to us about what that looks like. And then when does it make sense? You can do commercial deals, when you're on residential, you can do residential deals when you're on commercial. How do they all play together and what makes sense?
Yeah. So I would always say this, if you're new, and I'll put a link in there. There are some new agents training that we had with the Lipsy. So I would say if you're learning, there's going to be, I'll add it, a training course for $249 that we allow residential to learn, right? So you can do a corresponding course. $249 is unheard of for this course. So you can learn the business and then say, okay, do I want to come? There are people that want to come into true commercial. When I was at M&M, I got interviewed 4 times. I had to take a DISC or a profile test. I had to take a math test before I would even get hired. And then once I got hired, after 4 interviews, taking all these tests, 7 out of 100 makes it at M&M. They do grind you. They do treat you pretty tough. Like I said, got to get to the office before 8 a.m., got to stay till 9, making those calls, door knocking, whatever it takes. We have Monday meetings, Tuesday evening meetings, pizza night, right? We bring the cold calling phone around. Everyone makes cold calls in front of each other. So if you're afraid of cold calling by yourself, well, gee whiz, you're cold calling in front of 20 other people, that it's okay if they laugh at you, shit on you, do all this shit on you. It's fine. Right after that, we all say building your thick skin, right? So a lot of us commercial, we build thick skin. So just understand, commercial is not easy. Even if you're a great residential, it's like great commercial agents are not going to do residential stuff, right? We know, be an expert, stay in our lane, make sure you pass the referrals to. So I would say if you're new, take this course, understand commercial before you jump in. If you are dedicated, and this is what I told our commercial team and concierge before they go, do you know you may not get paid for a year? Do you know you may have to prospect like this? Do you know you need to do these things? Just to be serious. I just didn't like people thinking commercial was taking a course and now you're commercial. It's not.
Yeah.
It's actually through experience, tutelage, going through doing the deals is how you learn commercial. Learning the book knowledge is easy. That's easy. You just learn this. It's doing the deals, getting beat up a lot. That makes you a commercial agent, and putting enough under your belt so you can walk on the runway and put up with all these other commercial brokers. So make sure if you're new, you really understand commercial and the commitment. 1 year, no money. Just think about it. I'm not going to make any money. I'm going to cold call every day from a certain time block period. That's what I need to be disciplined for at least a year, year and a half. Once you do that with a good mentor, right? Mentors are made in gold. If you get a good mentor, I didn't have a great one, good friend still, but not a great mentor. Great mentors will care about you, not just, well, call me when you have a deal, right? We don't want that. We want somebody to guide you told you, work it through, understanding the prospect, building your database. From the next phase is making the calls, converting the calls to meetings, the meetings, converting it to listings, rinse and repeat. And at each of these movements, where did you screw up? And we know you didn't build your database wrong. Wrong numbers, no good. Okay, you do your calls. You can't convert to the meeting. You're talking too much. Don't talk to the old lady or the old guy that has no one talking to him. Don't do that. Talk to him, set up the meeting in 10 to 15 minutes or less. You know, set it up, and then you go to the rinse and repeat with your senior, your mentor to go. So I'd say, Dave, if you're new, be very sure the dedication you have to be in commercial.
Yeah.
The good thing with more senior residential going to commercial, they have a book of business. They can build in realty. That's their bread and butter because they start transition. They come to commercial, start learning and building their team because they have a base to survive. They can have the time to come over. Now the seniors are tougher. We are putting a program for broker owners. Broker owners wants a override, right? Come on. They can't sell their company. They need an override, right? And 2003 was bad numbers. So many of them are talking to us now because they're actually reaching out of their pocket to pay the company. And a lot of times they said, look, you know, owner, you're 80-20 capping at 20. You're actually subsidizing everyone else for your ego and you're just paying to the pot. So you're really not making the money. You're just getting less because you're feeding your ego, right? With the brokerage firm that you started or whatever it is. But hey, at eXp Commercial, you can use that brand name. We could take off a lot. And now we will put a deal together to help you get those larger broker owners. It's different from teams. Teams and groups is easier because usually they don't want an override. It's the broker owners that want an override. But Dave and I know, don't talk tortious interference unless they're independent. Be careful, right? Especially if they're with a franchisor already. But there are large groups from CB, JLL, Marcus. What does the math look like? And I saw some things about the tools. What does that look like? That's what they're going to ask. Onesie, twosies, all day long. Pretty easy. Our program can't beat it. So that's the thing from new agents. Make sure you're serious. Take some courses, understand the commitment. Onesie, twosies, all day long. That's easy. Just set up the meeting. Large groups, especially from the bigger firms. Okay, how would you structure this deal? And then the broker owners, what's my override? After you do the math, net of expenses to them, liability, everything else. So just understand the different buckets when you approach recruiting commercial agents and commercial teams.
Yeah, I have a good commercial friend of mine who always said, yeah, it's a great payday, but it's a long way between watering holes.
Long way, Dave.
Right. So, all right. So for those that are doing just light commercial, right? I mean, a lot of people say, hey, I'm doing commercial, but they might be doing some tenant rep, something like that, a simple, fairly simple purchase that's not super complex. Typically best served, keep your license in the residential brokerage, got your bread and butter. That's where you're doing your business. What's really nice is a lot of these commercial training classes are open to you. You can learn commercial and you can decide if you want to make that switch and make that move and work your way into it, learn it, understand it, and you can apply some of those things for the that light kind of residential, light commercial. I mean, because it's zone commercial doesn't necessarily make you a commercial agent per se. So you have the opportunity at eXp to do that. You don't have to go, well, I can't do those because I'm not in the commercial brokerage. And the same, the commercial, there are some incredible commercial brokers who also fill in their cash flow by closing some residential deals through their clients and that kind of stuff. But as your business grows, it makes more sense to refer those. And that's the beauty where you have these incredible partners. Commercial agents are referring residential business to residential agents, over at eXp Realty residential agents referring out the commercial. And if you want to get into it, again, you can kind of come alongside and learn, right? You can get into the classes, you can refer it out, but watch what they do, see what the process is and go, man, some people go, I was doing real estate and I liked it, but I went through a commercial transaction and like my eyes lit up, right? Like that was so cool. And I want to go do it. And we've seen people go, man, so here they can do it. They can learn how to do it. They can go through the training. They can get the mentorship to make the transition. They just need to understand the financial commitment that it doesn't operate like residential.
And that's a good point, Dave. If you're just dabbling, refer it out, code list it, because we allow in commercial to code list. So just learn it. If it's not your bread and butter, you just got the deal, understand to underwrite and vet the deal, because a lot of times you don't want to buy the listing, right? Residential too, you're wasting a lot of time. Just know why you're working on it. Many good brokers could look at the deal, especially if they're an expert in their marketplace. They know it's a sellable deal. I know so many people, they heard at a party, they think it's a big listing. Oh, it's a $600 million hotel deal. Oh, everyone in commercial, especially in that field, already heard about that deal like 3 years ago. And then you just are the barber, you just heard it now, right? Don't be the barber, right? Just, you know, a lot of this, when you're an expert, we do know the market. That's where you know the experts in the product type. And because we have 20 different product types, specialty committees, you could reach out to me, reach out to our team. We will put you in touch with our chair of that product specialty committee. And Dave, that's the one thing we're building now to be true commercial, is adding these committees, adding these services, hopefully growing global very soon with a network. This makes us walk and act and compete, really compete with the big companies. And even case in point, we may, and a lot of us are doing development, ground up construction deal, mixed use, housing component. There's a $25 million deal we're working on right now. They're going to give us probably 600 units to sell in phases. You know, I mean, there's more and more developers that we know, and that's commercial, the raw land, entitlement, ground up construction, development, leasing it out. We need to work with our family on the new home sales. I know there's a lot of chatter about building other parts, but there are in commercial a lot of developers. And now development, believe it or not, it's coming back again, Dave. So working with commercial on the new home sales, there's a lot going on.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. All right, so 2 questions. One is, what are the biggest objections, the most common objections that you're hearing talking to commercial about why they don't move or think they shouldn't move, and maybe a misconception, right? And then secondly, if someone's talking to someone and they don't have all the expertise on commercial and they're talking to a commercial agent who says, yeah, I'll listen, who do they go to? How does that work? So those are my 2 questions.
Yeah, so for them, either aren't you that residential firm? So they haven't heard about EXP commercial. Aren't you that residential firm? And you don't have any offices.
Okay.
Those are the kind of the biggest ones. Is I've never heard of your firm. Okay, but a lot of people have heard of Realty. Just say we're structured the same way, but we're 2 separate companies. We're led by commercial brokers that have been in the business 30 plus years. Collectively, there's an immense amount of leadership, immense amount of product specialty, and everyone that people know. So the water's warm now. Like EXP Realty, Dave, you know this, EXP who, what, but 3 years in, they do know us in circles. So you could say we are publicly traded, we're corporate, not franchise, and we have commercial leaders running the company that have been full-time, all the time commercial brokers. Why don't I set a call for you with them? Okay, right? Don't try to push it too hard, but just say, let me set a call and, you know, I can explain, or somebody on the team can explain it better, but I would always go that route. Is that the other one is the brick and mortar. And I would say this too. What did you do during COVID? Did you just stop working?
Right.
No, I work from home. Well, think of that all day long, but instead you get a pay raise of 80-20 capping at 20. Or now that things are open, you can buy your own office or group together with a group of friends, buy your mid-rise office. Office buildings have come down. Why don't you share a space? Why don't you buy it for yourself? Sale, lease back, rent it back to your own group. Many people actually have done that. They didn't want to work in the cores, the urban cores. No one wants to work in the downtowns anymore. They work near their home. They buy a mid-rise with a bunch of friends or people that do other type of supporting business. They buy the building, mid-rise building together. They put their logo up there and they go to work. So really, when it comes down to how did you get through COVID, you can get a pay raise. You can work from anywhere. Why don't you see how this works? And you could still get an office, but buy it yourself with the money you save. Because that's what really works because of what happened during COVID. The old paradigm used to be, I need to be in a Class A office or at least have it, even though your clients really never went there. When I was at Marcus 5 years, I had 5 clients come in once every year. That was it. And they just said they did say, I just want to see if you're real, if you had an office. But after that, they don't care. But by being publicly traded, really overcomes that objection. Here, look at EXPI, look at this, look at that. It's better to have an office to be publicly traded because you want to make sure you have deep pockets. That's what they really want to know. They don't want to be scammed. They want to know you're real. They want to know you have deep pockets to go after. So those are the kind of two ways of overcoming that. From a never heard of it, set up a meeting. It's like EXP, who maybe you heard, but for commercial. And with that, with COVID, how did you operate your business? Most people, they operate, trust me, Dave, right? They didn't just shut down and go on vacation or hunker at home and be a nomad. They were hustling. They found other ways. That's why everyone has a Zoom account or Google Meets or other ways of tech innovation to work.
Yeah. How are you most commonly talking to your clients? On the phone? All right. So do you need an office to talk to people on the phone? No. All right, good. How much FaceTime do you really have with your clients when you're working with commercial? I mean, it's very little.
Well, I'll just say this. In the beginning, I was told juniors and people I train, it's moving the ball down the line. You do a call, you talk to a client, they say no. Okay. If you move to a meeting, now you're a smaller group. Call to meeting. Press the flesh, right? Contact sport, shake their hands, give them a hug. Okay. You get a listing or an agreement, even if you sell it, moving it down the line. Every time is building trust and confidence, right? From a cold call, never seen you, to a meeting, press the flesh, contact sport, to signing an agreement, whether you sell it or not. Okay. The next is you start doing a deal, close the deal, because then you are so small of a person that did a deal in your marketplace, maybe 30, 50 commercial agents, to get them to close a deal with you, right? That is a big deal. And then your true clients will be the ones that did multiple deals. When I was at M&M, I had about 20, 25 good clients. That's all I needed. Because they keep, especially the players, they keep trading, rotating, flipping, buying, leveraging. You know, they do all sorts of leasing out their property. They do a lot of stuff. And if you build trust, they also tell you all their friends. I started going down third generation of the grandfather telling their kids, hey, you should go to gym and, you know, buy an apartment building here. You know, grandpa will give you a little bit of money. Go run it yourself and see if you can operate it. So this is the great thing about commercial real estate. Once you build your book of business and maintain it.
Can you bring me my little book?
And don't screw up. That's how you really grow and build your commercial business. And it is fun, but it is moving the ball along. Don't get lazy and just call them. Call to meet to get an exclusive to close, rinse and repeat, do multiple deals.
Nice.
And then you become a family trusted member.
That's right. That's right. So there's a question in there about how close we are to getting CoStar and Crexi. What's the time?
Crexi very close. Yeah. Crexi very close. I've known Mike DeGiorgio, who started Crexi when he was at auction.com with Rich Sherga. That one is.
Why am I not surprised that you know him?
I've invested in a lot of tech companies, so I always say I have conflicts. Besides CoStar, most of those tech people 20, 25 years ago, very close friends. I said I play nice with everyone except for kind of CoStar, but it's hard with CoStar. You know, everyone knows everyone, and a lot of CoStar leadership at Moody's, Crexi, everywhere else, they were ex-CoStar reps or exec leaders. But yeah, Crexi Pro, we're going to put a deal together with Mike and their team. Leo and Michael are working on, especially Leo, he's working on the larger deal because they're going into residential big time. And you saw them at the Super Bowl. I think they had 3 to 4 ads. So it is going to be tied in. So we're letting Leo Pareja and Michael Valdez do the negotiations. So hopefully, knock on wood, it's going to be attached. But I know their main focus, and I heard this, is on the residential world right now, especially with everything going on.
Right. Yep. Yeah, that'll be interesting. That'll be part of the larger deal. So the commercial CoStar side of this will be tied in with all the stuff they're doing on the residential end. And, you know, I think it's really smart. I mean, I love the fact that we're taking our time with that relationship and those negotiations, because if you think back to the early Zillow days, what would we as an industry have done differently if we knew then what we know now, right? So would we have taken a different path? And CoStar has, you know, they planted their flag in the ground that they're looking to fill that space. And so we have a chance to construct that relationship in a better way that protects us and our agents and the clients and stuff better than a total lack of protection when we went in with Zillow and said, "Here, take everything."
Yeah, data is powerful, right, Dave? Data, especially to power AI. Data
Yeah.
is the fuel for AI. Good data, proprietary data.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. Yeah, you can have the data.
Not for free. That's oil. That's giving
No
away
way.
oil.
That's right. That's right.
Give us some Bitcoin, right? Yeah, we'll trade.
Yeah, right, right. We'll throw you some NFTs in the EXP world. All right. So commercial agents, I mean, you mentioned this, they're very likely to cap, right? Because one deal is, typically you're going to cap, or they're going to be doing, if they're doing a lot of tenant rep and that kind of stuff like that, it's going to move through and they're going to be doing several. It's not a one-off if they're a full-time commercial agent. So they're likely to cap. They're also, if they're capping, it of course means they're also an FLQA for you. And because the commercial world is much smaller than the residential world, like roughly how many full-time commercial, like true commercial agents are out there right now? Ballpark.
Yeah, it's been said anywhere from 100 to 125, but
Yeah.
also resi-commercial is a class on its own, right? That are pretty large, considered resi-commercial. I think last time I looked from NAR, they said 32 to 35% would consider themselves resi-commercial. So having a true commercial at EXP does help the resi-commercial, because sometimes resi-commercials get a lease, a business brokerage, they get all sorts of stuff. But a lot of times they don't have the expert, or let's say in these franchise offices, they don't have the expertise because you don't know. Some of the residential doing commercial specialize in a type, but a lot of times they just get whatever comes that you need to plug in. So having a true commercial part of the company to network, to plug in, to underwrite, to look at it, very powerful, Dave. Especially, to be honest, they may come into a very large deal. I think one of our large business brokerage deals did do a $300,000 deal, and I think the agent made a nice paycheck, even as a referral check. So having a true commercial with the expertise and institutional knowledge could really help those agents, because you're dealing with the CEO of a large company, especially the luxury brokers. You are in their circle. You talk to these type of people. You just don't have the knowledge. You can say, you know what? We have a commercial part of the company because we're two separate companies, not a division. A division shows like you're bolted on. That's what's changed. It is really a subsidiary, a separate company, a brokerage company under EXPI. So just make sure the nuances, because when you say division, they think KW commercial, and we all know how that kind of went out. Buddy and the rest, great people. Joe Williams, great guy.
Yeah.
They're good people.
Yeah.
And it's just the structure.
Yeah, this is not the same. This is a true, I'm not doing a thumbs down. I don't know why that came. That's a bad model. This is a good model. But yeah, that's a really big and significant difference. And especially for true commercial agents where they go, I'm not looking to be a bolt-on. I'm not looking to be the step kid over here that like doesn't get the attention, right? Like, oh, you're over there. We don't really have anything for you. We really can't help you. We just want to make money from what you do. This is a true commercial firm with all of the expertise and all of the tools and all of the connections to really succeed. A key thing for residential agents, obviously referring agents in, but this is another really good opportunity because we have a very strong and robust commercial group of agents out there. The referral opportunity for residential agents is massive. You don't have to do commercial, but you can refer commercial work anywhere. So if you have clients that work for companies that are expanding or contracting or moving around and doing anything else like that, right? Or investing or anything, you have the opportunity. You can refer that business out, and think about the referral check on a very large, multi-million-dollar to even multi-$100 million transaction. What's the referral fee on something like that, right? That's better than referring out a $500,000 residential property to someone in another state. This is huge. They can be in your state or anywhere around the world where we do business.
Yep. No, and that's the biggest thing. The referrals that go from residential, commercial, and commercial going back to realty is big. And I know with Leo and everyone putting the tech connections, I'm already plugging into Zoocasa. They're starting to send lists and leads and Revenos and Zenla, everything. We're trying to connect both companies to be as one big company, as one big global company. So it is very important that these leads start flowing back and forth, because this is free money, right? Within our company, within our expertise to pass deals back and forth. So Dave, exactly right. Within our own company, you just asked me, plug in, we're building better connection and flow through tech so we can add more leads back and forth. And those that are developers, the residential agents should stay in touch with them, especially if they're building in your marketplace, to start running comps, running rental rates, right? A lot of them are build to rent with an option with condo tracks to sell, but a lot of people are building to rent right now, and they have a condo map on it so they can convert to condo and sell it later. So that is what I'm seeing is the BTR kind of model right now. But we are in commercial, we have a committee for this, and we're going deep into this, even to raise money for ground up construction development, even mezz. And I was talking to a lot of private equity groups, money groups for the mezz, as they call it, emergency equity right now, the bridge funds, because a lot of loans are coming due. They're not able to finance. They need this bridge equity emergency or a new equity partner to salvage. But if you bring that or a part of it, we could price you in and say, hey, you're getting and giving us the listing for all of it if we save your project. So remember, and thank you, Dave, for bringing that up. That's a tip. If you know anyone has broken project development and they need help, say, we have a commercial arm. They understand development. They are working on their bridge equity. Could you talk to them and they can look at your deal? Because if we lend them the money or do the bridge and help them get out of their debt situation, we're going to say, you're going to give us the listing for our agent that brought us over with you. So I'm glad you brought that up. That is a big play, because if you control the money, you're going to control the deal.
That's right. That's right. And this is another touch for your database, right? If you think about it right now, it's another thing to say, like, hey, if you are involved in any of these things, if your company is, if you are, whatever, we can help you with this, right? I have partners in commercial all over the world. And so, this is another opportunity to drive. And then they go, oh, great. You have a trusted relationship with them. They have a need, but it might not be a need that you can personally handle, but you refer it. It's kind of like, you just put it in your partner bag. Like we talk about, like, you have an electrician, you have a flooring person, you have a whatever, like, come to me for everything. Well, if you or your business have commercial real estate needs, I can connect you with that as well. I have partners in commercial real estate all over the world. So it's another great touch. And you may not be saying anything about it because you go, I don't do commercial real estate. I know that they're a big company and they do all kinds of stuff, but I can't help them with that. Well, you can, you've got partners in that now, and it's pretty cool. And as Jim's showing you, it's pretty robust with lots of different opportunities. So they just come in, they get connected with the right person. That person in commercial will know about these opportunities. They'll know about all of the tools and the things that they can do. And you get a tie into it. So that's pretty awesome. That's pretty awesome. So guys, the opportunity is big. We are we in the top 10?
We're still in that range.
Somewhere around there?
Yeah, somewhere around there. As the market keeps changing, we always want to boost up our recognition. So that's why I said push on LinkedIn. But because of the amount of leaders and marketing, I know our company is doing a lot more marketing now. But many of us, I've been around almost 28, 29 years. And people that I've known, like Jerry Anderson, 50 years plus. Nick, who's the godfather of business brokerage, 45 years in the business. So I always said, how do we win this? How do we bring name brand? I got a lot of friends out of retirement to help our brand. So it's making these calls. Hey, I volunteered on your committee. I did this. I worked with you before. Don't burn bridges. So I got a lot of friends, and a lot of people are now friends of friends coming over. So the water's really warm. We're still ready. This is, I would just tell you, a breakout year. We did very well. Even in a bad year in 2023, we're still positive. 24, we're going to even do more. But now we're building and strengthening our product type specialty committees, very important for commercial. We are also building services that you're going to see launch probably second quarter, very important. And with Michael's blessing and everyone else, to start putting a network together globally for global listings, because now money is moving around all over. Talking to people in Korea, Korea is moving it to Japan. Money's coming into the US. They want to build a fund with us at EXP. So there is a lot of interesting things going on globally, but just happy to always do a three-way. Reach out to Dave or Kristen. I'll send you, Dave, more things so you can share with your group, at the FYR group. the training program, take the training, add another quiver, talk commercial. So when you talk to your clients, don't try to close them on yourself. Always get an expert, get a second opinion. We will tell you, yeah, it's easy, we can guide you, or you should refer it out or code list. You know, our thing is to help you keep more money and keep, you know, the volume of business growing in our company. That's what we're doing. I know EXP is well suited to get through all of this, more so than everyone else. That's my feeling. That's my thoughts of all of this, looking at every single other company out there. And I had a chance to join all of them. So I'm like, this is the right platform.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it's awesome. It's awesome. You saw the vision right away. You know, I think you said, you know, you had an open mind, but I know, I mean, you were at a good gig, you were running a big business. And so it's kind of like, all right, you know, I think you guys, when we first started talking, you were like, well, either them with us or us with them, right? It was kind of, it could go either way. And I remember meeting it was a business function around a pool, by the way. We weren't sitting around like sunbathing or anything, but but you know, standing around there, and it's like, I know Tom came and grabbed me and he said, you gotta meet him, you gotta meet this guy. So I went over and talked to you, and I walked away from the table and I was like, that's our guy. That's our guy. So it's been fun watching you, you know, really build it and bring in your folks. And so, you know, as we're talking to commercial agents out there, they'll know the names of the people we have from Jim on down through some of the other folks that he's been able to bring in, that they've brought in. We have some really great talent, people that have done big things in the industry, names that are known, gives a lot of validity to what we're doing, and it brings their expertise as we build this. And what's super cool is, you know, it's now being built by people who have succeeded at that level in a bunch of different companies and in a bunch of different parts of the field, bringing it together and saying, if we could, you know, a lot of those companies are old. I mean, they've been around for a while, right? And so it's like, hey, if we weren't already doing it, how would we start doing it based on what we know now? And that's how this company's been built. And it makes it really smart, and it makes it very agile, which is still part of one of our core values. And it's allowed the company to really create something special. And it's really cool. So I'm excited to see where it continues to go. So let's get out there and build it, guys. Let's go find some great commercial agents. And then, you know, Jim is there. So if you have questions, you can find, he's under James Huang, right? In Workplace, just ping him in there. He's super responsive. He and his entire team are really, really amazing. So you can hit them up, get on his schedule to talk to someone, you know, ask him some questions about it. As you can tell, he hates talking about commercial real estate. So, so man, thank you so much. I'm going to unspotlight us real quick so we can see the folks that have stayed with us for an entire hour. And there we go. Awesome. Guys, thank you so much for being here. Jim, man, I appreciate you. You are awesome, an incredible human, and I look forward to seeing you at the next thing sometime soon, hopefully.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone. Have a great Friday, great weekend. Reach out anytime. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Have an awesome day. Guys, have an amazing weekend. Happy Friday. We'll see you soon.